back on the infamous sofa. No, not that sofa. Hey guys, Henry here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd chat about Milan Fashion Week. For me, I think it's the fashion week that I keep my eyes on most at the minute. I think in general it's becoming the most important fashion week because of the designs that show there and how important their work is to get a good gauge of where the fashion industry, predominantly from a menswear background, is heading. So to begin, I wanted to talk about, I think it's pronounced Avavav. I think it's a really interesting brand to touch on because their runways are spectacles in a sense of they're done to get attention, to, go viral, have these viral moments. And the problem that I find with these sort of shows is that, great, you get your viral moment, you're on trend, everybody's talking about the show. But are they talking about the show or are they talking about the clothes? Because isn't fashion all about the clothes, right? I guess in general, building on what they've done previously, the last time they showed, they did the rating system with people holding up scorecards and stuff. Pause. No, they didn't. That was Boss Techtopia for Autumn Winter 23. But still, Avavav are known for their attention-grabbing shows. This time around, they had models going down the runway and all the attendees could throw rubbish and trash at them. So I made a very funny comment on my TikTok about how the show was trash, which hopefully people enjoyed. It's clear in terms of looking at the looks in general that anatomical footwear is very big here. You can see it on the outfit that I've picked out here with the suiting. I'm a big fan of the raw distressing on the suit as well. I think that just puts a new edge to it. The joggers in this next fit look great. I love the sort of seam coming down and across the front. It just means that it sits nicer on the shoe, a better stat overall. Just helps a pant silhouette look a bit more intriguing and different. I think with trousers in general, just doing slight plays with seams, darts, things like that, it can really take a pant from being, nothing too interesting to being extraordinary. And again here, touching on the pant seams, it sits nicely, and I'm really intrigued by this collar hood detail. I've been seeing a few designers playing around and messing around with collars, and you'll see some coming up in the later part of the video. And then I'll touch on another bit of the spectacle that the CDB Carlson also took a pie to the face at the end of the show. I guess the general summary of this show is, are the clothes actually carrying themselves enough to stand without this viral moment? And I think the show is lacking a bit in that sense. The clothes aren't anything crazy. I guess it'd be intriguing to see you guys' thoughts on it. Do you think that these moments are good for the fashion industry? Are they counterintuitive? Do they cause more issues than it's worth? Let me know in the comments. Moving on, have to talk about Jil Sander. I think I've been really impressed with the stuff coming out of them recently, and they've definitely been capitalizing on the minimalism movement, which has been around for years now, it seems. So the two creatives behind the brand at the minute, Lucy and Luke Mayer, husband and wife designers, which puts a nice twist on it. When she was talking about the collection, Lucy Mayer stated, "Who doesn't like comfort?" And I think it's clear throughout the whole runway that this is a definite theme for the show. All the sort of detailing and everything, those rounded shapes and seams were everywhere, even down to the shoes and the accessories. So in the first outfit here, you can see on those shoulders of the jacket, it just creates this nice silhouette, very comfortable, very sleek. And then again here, like I've touched on, even the shoes and the accessories have showcased those soft edges. So it's incorporated throughout the whole runway, head to toe. Nothing escapes this everything is about comfort look. Another thing I picked up on from Milan Fashion Week specifically is this cape trench combo coming through. A couple of designers have been playing around with this, and I think it's really fun. It's really something that I would like to pick up, something that mimics that style, hopefully. And then you can see it a lot more extravagant with this one. I would be intrigued to see how it's connected, but again, that cargo detail, and I love playing with the collars on things like this. Having a fasten and a cross just puts a new edge on the fit. I think, especially in this look, it's a must-have for me. It's really, really cool, making me really want to be that next Marvel superhero. And then I've touched on this in some of my TikToks and other content. I do think dark reds and maroons, burgundy tones seem to be quite big for fall winter 24. And it's definitely something which I will be trying to incorporate into my wardrobe heading towards those seasons. But it's just something to keep your eye on as well. And then I've picked out two looks which, despite it being fall winter, I kind of want to be leaning this way going into spring summer this year. This first one with the blazer short combo is really nice. The fabric looks great, and it's just really contrasted well with the sort of darker tones in the footwear. And then moving further on, I think this one is like that next step up. It's so effortless. I wouldn't call it minimal, because I think sometimes minimalism gets the wrong stick. Minimal to some people comes across as boring, and I don't think it is that. And this is definitely like extravagant minimalism. It looks like a great fit. The collar is that different shape, as you can see on the vest. You've got added flair with the silver on it, and yeah, I just really like this. So yeah, Jil Sander, another great runway. I always love looking at Jil Sander because it gives me serious everyday inspiration as to what I want to lean towards when I don't want to be doing something crazy, but also want to show that I'm still, you know, putting on a decent outfit. Again, if you're new around here, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Plenty more content coming, all geared around men's fashion and fashion as a whole, so stay tuned. Moving on, we cannot ignore Ferragamo and what Maximilian Davis is doing there. It's been one of these runways which I do not want to miss. I really want to get some Ferragamo in my wardrobe. Desperately. I think it's amazing. The pieces look amazing, so timeless, but the price is just not doing it for me at the minute. And again, in this runway, he has definitely worked his magic. This look here, this reptilian-esque fabric, this is an all-leather look, which is incredible to me. I love it when designers mess around with fabrics like this. I guess as well it brings in that sustainability question, which is very current right now. But let's get into the actual looks. Kicking it off, this green look was amazing in my eyes. I love the embossed detailing on it too, if I can pick that up on a close-up for you. Green is another colour which I'm very keen to get a bit more of, but just playing around with it being in a different colour and incorporating that patterning into the fabric is really nice. Again, I've touched on this recently in some of my other videos. I love this rolled sleeve sort of effect that a lot of brands have been playing around with. I think it's another way of making quite a minimal reserved outfit, just have a little bit of something extra to it, adds a bit of depth, a bit of different layer and texture to it. And again here, the white popping through really complements that knitwear and the embroidery throughout it. Again, you can see that rolled sleeve detail in here. Not sure whether I've been wearing the shorts this short personally, but I can see the vision, I can see what they're going through, the contrast of the chunky big knit and the short shorts. Even just as you can see, having those tonal colours coming through under the item which you're rolling the sleeves on even complements it well too. Moving on, I love the mustard tones on this suit. Always got to love a formal look or a suit look on the runway. And again, it just looks to fit perfectly, lovely pleated detailing, and really intrigued by this incorporated belt. We also saw something similar from Loewe, I believe. Again, it's just another way to amend or change a silhouette of an item without having to massively differentiate from the norm. And now you can see with this look afterwards, how that belt once fastened really just changed the overall look of the fit, and it just makes it look that bit extra, that bit different without actually having to change too much. But Ferragamo definitely is a brand that I think everybody should have at the top of their list of things to be checking out from and keeping an eye on the looks and what Maximilian Davis is doing there. It's great to see them going leaps and bounds, keep on improving. It's almost like they can't stop the Ferragamo train right now. And I'm really excited to see what comes out from the brand going forward, and I'm really excited to see these products in hand hopefully too. Moving on, another giant we have to talk about, Bottega Veneta. I think a lot of people are incredibly impressed by Mathieu Barzé and what he's doing there. Sorry if I butchered his name, not sure how you say it properly. It was a big talking point after Daniel Lee left about what would happen there, and I think if anything, you could argue that they've done better without him. Mathieu, in an interview after the show, stated that this season's Bottega was all about stripping it back and refining it to its core function, which the collection definitely does, but that's undermining the work he's done if you're saying it's stripped back and refined. It's amazing what he's created. So the first look here is just a classic twist on the overcoats we've seen a lot recently and people have been wearing a lot of. Just literally flipping it on itself and having that collar which appears to be the other way around is really cool, and I love the fabric they've used on this. The added flair as well with the tie flung over the shoulder is nice, and we can't not talk about bags when it comes to Bottega. It's at the forefront of everything to do with Bottega, so it's great to see them being incorporated too. And then the next look is something really, really interesting for me. Like, how can we not talk about the technique that's used here? So I think from my eyes, I tried to do some research on it, but it looks to be some form of leather used. The short and spiky layering just creates this really breathtaking look. I'd be really intrigued to see this on a crazy jacket or crazy pair of trousers for a guy. That would be really, really cool. And then speaking of leather, what an amazing trench coat this is too. Coming through in those red tones again. And I love on this close-up you'll be able to see the paneling across both the shoulders and chest used. The sort of raglan sleeve, I think it is, just helps it sort of drape and sit a lot nicer across the body. Another amazing look here too. The material or the fabric they've used and the technique on top of it really reminds me of like digital cabling or wiring. It's really, really cool. The side collar fastening too, I'm a big fan of. I've already touched on how I love when places mess around with a collar, so yeah. Really, really good. And then this is another knit, which as I touched on earlier about messing with those collars, the sort of incorporation of the trim with what appears to be a fold at the end makes it look like how a hoodie for me sits when you're wearing it, and it sits sort of flush against your back. So it makes a sophisticated look a bit more casual, but you've not actually done anything to take away from the sophistication itself. And then if you see it in the salmon pink color too, it just looks even better, even stronger, even more powerful. Bottega Veneta, I have to say I was a bit of a hater on it for a while, and truth be told, I don't know why I was. The product's really good. I think it was maybe the price point that I just knew I couldn't afford it, and then I've realized that you don't have to get something to really appreciate it what it is. Yeah, definitely one I think you should all be looking into the products besides just the leather stuff which they've done, which is a big talking point. And the final brand I want to talk about, which is another really interesting one for me, is MM6. It impresses me again season on season. It really seems to be that testing ground or the testing chamber for Margiela itself, doing a lot of experimental stuff, trying something different, and it's great to see what comes out from them. It's always good to start off a runway with a sophisticated clean fit. So as you can see here, love the detailing throughout the outfit. The pillowcase S bag is a vibe too. You definitely don't need one of them travel pillows when you fly in. If you've got this, just sling that over your neck and you're good to go. And then I guess also touching on that testing facility, you can definitely see this vibe coming through with the glasses. It really is taking us back to chemistry class, I think. I love the distressed detailing on these jeans too. It's very unique and fresh rather than it just being your standard, rip or repair. It really adds something new and doesn't really draw your eyes too much to it. And I think that's the problem sometimes with rips and distresses. They're too obnoxious, they're too in your face, and this is a really clean, refined way of doing it. Moving on again, the combination of this trench and the jeans is really good. I think it's so hard to find a pant that sits so perfectly on a shoe like this, so I'm always very impressed when a brand does this. I know it's not anything crazy, but it's just something I really like, and I try and mimic day in, day out with my own outfits. And also the subtle face embellishments on this trench are fun, just something different. And the colours on the denim and the knit are super refreshing in general. Moving on, I think this is definitely my favourite look for sure. The repaired / double hem detailing is really cool. I've always been a fan of this whenever I've seen it done before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Margiela and H&M did some sort of similar detailing on their collection years ago, and it's always been something I keep my eyes on. I think even Common Sweden, I think the brand comes to mind, did a pair of similar jeans that I was obsessed with for ages and never managed to get. But again, yes, it's just an amazing detail for me, and I think that leather jacket gives a nice finishing touch to the overall outfit. And I think to finish, this is sort of what happens when the test chamber erupts and there's a bit of a spectacle in the chemistry lab. This sort of blossoming colour explosion makes the suited look just far more playful, and I guess just having the muted, darker tones beneath it is a nice way to make such a super colourful outfit not so overbearing and not so in your face. So I hope these shows in general and the bits that I've pulled out from them has shown you how important Milan Fashion Week is to the overall fashion industry, really. I think more and more designers are seeing the appeal of maybe not going towards your standard Paris Fashion Week to show. It does help create a bit more of a buzz around your shows. You're not having to fight for that space on the official schedule, and you don't have to do all the politics of that. But I'm really excited for Paris Fashion Week coming up, really excited to see some shows there, and I'm sure I'm going to get some content out revolving around that. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What was your favourite look from the ones I picked out? Is there anything I missed that you thought was really strong too? I'd love to have a discussion about it all. But that's it from me, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. evening, morning, whatever it is, and I'll catch you in the next video.